Chapter 2. Just couldn't take my eyes off you when you came through the door that night. I tried, I really did. But you were shining so bright. Jenny bounced on the chair, drumming on her thighs. She sang along to the song, thundering from the loudspeakers in the nightclub. A little less conversation, a little more action, please. All this aggravation ain't satisfactioning me. Oh, it's that song, her friend Agneta shouted across the small table. You know, from the commercial. Jenny couldn't help rolling her eyes. It's an Elvis song. It has been around since, like, forever. I can't believe you hadn't heard it until it was in that Nike commercial. Agneta smiled widely. It made her slim, narrow face look as if it was split in two. The comment was so typical of her best friend. Yeah, I know how hard it is for you to understand us mortals. Jenny ignored the comment and said she wanted to dance again. Oh, come on. I mean, we've already danced lots. The whole class has. It's time to rest a while. Rest? Why? This DJ is playing great music. I'm all dizzy from the beer and my feet are sore. Let's just check out some cute guys, okay? Jenny scoffed. If all you want to do is look at cute guys, it's easier to watch a film or something. Intellectually interesting ones? I don't think we'll find them here. We should just find someone to dance with. Agneta couldn't help but smile at her irrationally rational friend. She took off her shoe and touched the back of her ankle. Yes, she had guessed right, she had a blister. Jenny could say whatever she wanted. She was done dancing for tonight. Jenny continued chair dancing and looked across the dance floor. The stage in the club was empty now, but less than an hour ago, a band from Södertälje, a place outside of Stockholm, had played there. She liked this nightclub. It was larger than any club she had been to before, with enough space to dance and plenty of chairs and tables around the dance floor. There was an upper floor as well, where you could have your drink and looked down at the dance floor and the stage. The disc jockey put on the song Sweden had participated in the Eurovision Song Contest with, Never Let It Go by Aphrodite. After a couple of songs and a few sips from her by now warm beer, Jenny sighed. But I can't even find a guy who can dance. Agneta leaned forward and pointed behind Jenny. Check out the guy over there, the one with the curly hair. And the Dumbo ears? He stinks! Didn't you notice that when he passed by? I can't stand guys who smoke. I mean, I kind of get that many people started smoking when our grandparents were young, but by now, everyone knows how bad it is. The tobacco companies put in a lot of addictive crap besides nicotine. I don't understand how people can be so stupid. Agneta interrupted her in the middle of her tirade. Look at the guy walking through the door now. He's someone who even you would like. Whom even I would like. She turned around and looked toward the entrance. It was crowded over there, but there was no doubt about whom Agneta meant. He was beautiful, he really was, but if that had been all, she could have observed him in her normal, analytical way. But he had something else, something more, something she couldn't put her finger on. Even though she was dreaming of becoming a journalist, she couldn't come up with a single word to describe him. It was as if he were radiating sunshine. His movements were pleasant to behold, a mixture of softness and slenderness. It was as if he were drifting, not as a calm, floating river, but a swirling one, with water bouncing from one stone to the other. He walked towards them. She couldn't stop looking at him. He was tall and blonde with a fringe she casually threw to the side. Her eyes just couldn't let go of him. She didn't even hear the music anymore. Wanna dance? Svante, their red-headed classmate, stood in front of her with his hand extended. Finally, thanks to Svante, she could let go of the hottie. I'd love to. She got up and reflexively pulled her blouse down so it would cover her curvy butt. Ironically, Jenny, who could barely sit still, was round and soft, while the calmer Agneta was tall and slender. With a big smile on her face, Jenny moved with Svante onto the dance floor. So, how long will you be staying in town? Peter threw his blonde fringe to the side and shrugged. Don't know, it depends. He took out his wallet, making a mental note to himself that it was time to buy a new one. It was worn, but he still liked it. He had bought it on a trip to Morocco many years ago. Beer? Stefan nodded, and Peter asked him to find them a table while he got them some beer. Stefan chose a table with a good view of the dance floor. It didn't take long for Peter to join him. He rarely had to wait in line. He put the beers on the table and sat down. "How's Anna?" The question was polite, but Peter's eyes were scanning the place, not his friend's face. The beer had left traces on his upper lip. "I don't know what Anna is doing or how she is." "Oh, yeah, right." Peter turned to his friend. "Sorry, I forgot. How long is it since the two of you split up?" 3 months and 4 days. "What? Are you still keeping track of the days? I mean, she was a great girl, I know, but..." He shook his head. Stefan's answer was uncharacteristically intense. "You really don't get it, do you? Well, how could you? You've never cared for a girl more than one night at a time anyway." "Hey, that's bullshit." Stefan raised his hands in a calming gesture. "Sorry, I know you're not a trophy hunter, but you're with more girls in a week than I am in a year. So, who says a long relationship is better than a short one?" Instead of answering, Stefan waited in silence, knowing that Peter wouldn't stay annoyed for long. He never did. They looked out over the dance floor as they drank their beer in silence. Even though there were many girls at Nightcat tonight, Peter didn't see anyone who appealed to him. He didn't see anyone who had that little indescribable thing that would tickle his curiosity. Suddenly, he caught sight of a small blonde girl dancing and bouncing in the middle of the dance floor. She was perspiring, and her long hair was in a mess. There was something about her happy face that attracted him, and he loved the way she moved. He leaned closer to Stefan and pointed toward the girl. "Check out the blonde, sweaty girl over there. The one dancing with the ginger?" "Exactly." "Cute. Dances well, too." "Yeah, she does. He doesn't." Peter finished his beer and got up. "I'll save the small, sweaty one from the dork." He pulled his fingers through his hair and went to the dance floor. "Hey, babe, I've been searching for you all night." Before Jenny could see whom the soft voice belonged to, she got a peck on her cheek. It wasn't until he took her hand and led her further onto the dance floor, away from Svante, that she saw who it was. After a moment, he let go of her hand and started dancing with her. She didn't move at all. What on earth should she do? Before she could do anything at all, the hottie put his arm around her waist, took her hand, and they danced away in a swirling couple dance. Unlike Svante, unlike almost all the guys she had watched during the evening, he could really dance. After a few dances, he stopped and whispered, "I'll be right back." He disappeared. She was left alone among all the other dancing couples and groups. He had probably just pulled her leg. Embarrassment warmed her already red cheeks. She turned around to go back to Agneta, hoping no one in the class had seen how stupid she had been. Before she got off the dance floor, he grabbed her elbow. "You're not very patient, are you?" Over the speakers, the DJ said, "On request, I'm gonna play a sentimental ballad. Hold on to each other and enjoy this old classic, George Michael's Careless Whisper." Jenny's face lit up. She loved that song. Her dance partner bowed and asked if he... Sorry, the word is probably bowed. Bowed and asked if he could dance with the impatient girl. "As long as you don't mind slow dancing with someone who's really sweaty." "I chose you because you were sweaty." Handsome but weird, she thought, and put her arms around his neck. George Michael's sad voice filled the room, and she closed her eyes. This was a moment she wanted to remember. Dancing to a wonderful song with an exciting guy. Summer holidays were just around the corner, and life was great. The melody filled her as they glided around to the fantastic saxophone solo. After Careless Whisper, there was another slow song. Nightcat would soon close. "I'm happy you asked for that song. It's görfin," she said, using a word typical of the city of Gothenburg. Görfin. What brings someone from Gothenburg all the way to Stockholm to have fun? She shrugged. "I guess we wanted to see how the other half lives." With 2 fingers under her chin, he lifted her face and asked if she wanted to see more of how the other half lived. She nodded. "Come on then." He took her hand and led her towards the exit. "Wait, I have to tell my friends. Just wait, I'll be back in a second." She hurried towards Agneta, who was standing with some of their classmates. When Agneta saw Jenny, her face softened with relief. "Oh, I'm so glad you're back. I was just starting to wonder," Jenny interrupted her. "He's going to show me some more of Stockholm. Let's meet back at the hostel, okay?" With wide eyes, Agneta looked at her best friend, the always logical and rational Jenny. "Do you really know what you're doing?" Jenny shook her head and smiled happily. "No, I have no idea." The worried look on Agneta's face forced Jenny to quickly add that she was going to be careful and that she would take a taxi to the hostel. Agneta still looked dubious. Jenny patted her shoulder. "See you later." "It's already late," Agneta mumbled when Jenny skipped like an excited kid towards her dream guy waiting for her at the exit.